morning, everyone, and welcome to Logicom Tech Talk. My name is Alexandra Topalian, live from GITEX 2024, right here in the bustling city of Dubai. And we are here to dive into the latest technology trends and innovations shaping the future of business. My guest today is none other than Ben Mcdonald, Marketing Director for Dell. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
How are you today?
I'm excited. It's day 2 of GITEX. We had a really busy day yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's actually my last day at GITEX today.
Your last day?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
we
not
still
here
have
for the
2
rest of the
days to
week.
go.
Yeah, I unfortunately have to fly to an event in Poland tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Well, not unfortunately. It's quite nice to go to Poland.
Poland this time of year?
Yeah,
Lovely.
exactly. Nice and cold. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Ben, Marketing Director for Dell, clearly marketing has a huge task ahead of them, especially with the onset of AI. Your job, your challenges must be huge. So I can only imagine. Can you tell me how AI is transforming your day-to-day work, your
Yes.
operations, and more specifically, your campaigns?
I guess we couldn't be here without talking about AI, I suppose.
The elephant in the room.
And it was funny because we were here like a year ago, and it was like just starting to sort of like, and now we've had a year of things that have played out. And I think the marketing community globally were probably the one of the teams that felt a little bit worried by what was happening with AI. Was it going to put us out of business? Were we all going to have to find new jobs and stuff like that? But I'm happy to say that I'm still here.
Fantastic.
And our teams are still here, and most of the marketing teams, are. But I think it's fair to say that as an industry, we've had to pivot slightly over the last while as we start to embrace these new technologies, these new tools, and it's definitely having an effect. I think one of the biggest areas that we thought, say, a year ago was around creation of content.
Right.
Now, whether that be video creation, whether that be any other digital creation of any kind, it's absolutely clear that AI has had an effect. Now, Dell Technologies is obviously a big corporate company, so when we do introduce new tools and new technologies within the marketing community, we have to do it quite carefully. So I would say, taking our time right now at Dell. We're assessing what's out there, assessing what tools are out there, but we are finding ways to implement AI even within Dell for all employees. A good example would be Microsoft Copilot.
Okay.
Where we're using that tool in very simply, in its simple manner of spell checking, grammar checking, some of the things that we're doing. But we're also playing around and experimenting at our global headquarters around, video creation, some other content creation tools as well. But again, it's something that we're doing sort of baby steps at Dell, at Dell right now, until we're comfortable. But we are using it certainly within the organization.
And in regards to going about your marketing campaigns, are you asking AI for help?
Yes, there is a couple of ways that we are asking or working with AI, and I think it's clear to. I think it's always important to think this is something that we're working with, and not necessarily something that's taking over our jobs. And that's why I like what Microsoft are doing, and they called their AI companion Copilot, because it's something that we're working with, and not to replace people's jobs. But we're using it as example internally within Dell to help our targeting of our campaigns. We're using it to sort of number crunch, looking at data, trying to make predictions of where customers' future purchases are going to be. And we're handing over those insights to our sales teams so they can have better, more informed conversations with customers, and hopefully catch a conversation very early that will allow them to close a deal faster than they have in the past. So one area is around data and data collection and data mining and data prediction. Some of the other areas we're looking at is around digital content, where we are using it to help us create the content more efficiently, and also allowing us to target customers in a more efficient way as well. And then I'm sure we're going to have a lot more usage, within the future as well.
So you are using data analytics for the insight that it provides you to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We've always used data at Dell. We've always been an organization that's had a lot of data on our customers and their buying behavior. But perhaps in the past, it was very simple around this customer buys a laptop, but they don't buy a desktop PC. And it was very simple cuts of data like that. But now the technology is allowing us to predict where we believe a customer is going to purchase or have a need to purchase products in a certain time period from now.
Yes.
Because the AI modeling is telling us that. And it's becoming more and more accurate and more sophisticated over time that we're finding that it's making correct predictions.
Fantastic.
And that, if you can give that information to sales, that's golden information for them. Because it allows them to do other things.
See, that predictive analysis is that extra edge that you're getting nowadays.
Well, I guess it's the ultimate as a marketeer, is that if you can try and predict people's behavior before maybe they even know it.
Yes, the ultimate foresight.
It's the ultimate, yeah, it's the ultimate.
So what challenges have you encountered with AI?
Well, I think I would say not necessarily at Dell now, but let me maybe talk about the industry.
Okay.
Around, challenges I think are around just generally around things like copyright.
Yes.
Image creation, video creation, and perhaps some of the ethical considerations around some of these things that are going on at the moment.
Right.
That's why I say Dell Technologies is taking our time to, assess what's happening, the tools that are available, because these things are happening really, really fast.
It's still not fully regulated.
Exactly. So we need to be very careful as a global organization with many, many agencies, that also our agencies are also following our own guidelines, and they're not producing content that is not aligned to the Dell Technologies brand. So I think some of the big considerations are making sure that around the content, the copyright of the content, and making sure that we keep within some ethical guidelines as well. But like you said, the regulations are still sort of like trying to keep up with the technology. The technology is advancing so quickly that the regulators are still building things as we're going along.
So in general, without taking any regions in particular, are they keeping up? Are they able to provide an regulation in time?
I think the regulators. I'm not sure if the regulators will ever keep up with the technology advancements, because nowadays technology is advancing so quickly. Something that we might have been talking about even 6 months ago, we've moved on, to another topic already. So I think the regulators certainly have some work to do to keep up and keep on top. But something that we do at Dell, and is something that we've always been a champion on, is industries and open standards, and really working with the industry at large, and making sure that we're on advisory boards and trying to advise and keep up,
And that collaboration is key.
Because our customers are also looking for guidance as well. It's not just about how we're using it at Dell.
Yes.
Our customers are also fearing about AI. They're wondering about, well, how do I actually use
Of course,
this?
and you've got to advise them in the best way possible.
Absolutely.
Speaking of advice, what advice would you give, say, marketers that are striving to reach that level?
Well, I think marketers now, you shouldn't be afraid. If you look at just technology generally, talking at a broad level, as human beings, we've had a relationship with technology for millions of years, but technology has changed. If you go through and you look at the Industrial Revolution and all of those things, there were people that are going to be put out of business, I'm going to have to find a new job. But as human beings, we're good at pivoting. So marketers need to do the same thing. So don't just sit back and let this thing, trample over you.
Right.
Get what we say internally at Dell is get curious, understand it.
And I like that analogy you used of pilot.
Yes.
I think how they called it co-pilot.
Co-pilot.
Because it is an aid after all.
It is an aid. I was thinking about this a while ago, because I get asked this question, did we, when we started using spell checker as an example, maybe we were feeling guilty, this is I'm cheating kind of thing.
Right.
But today spell checker is just something that we do. And Copilot or whatever tools that you might be using will eventually just become something that we do. And sometimes you might feel embarrassed that you're taking a paragraph in your email and dropping it into Copilot, please can you just reword this or double check or check if it's scary. Yeah. So people must just get over themselves really and stop feeling guilty. And as I said, I really like this. It's a Copilot.
Exactly.
It's not gonna tell you exactly what to do. It's going to give you some form of guidance. But this relationship that we have, this human machine relationship, we've always had, and we will continue to have. And there's also, doom and gloom that people think, maybe Terminator and those type of things.
Right.
But it really is the people that are embracing it are the people that will learn faster, they'll pivot faster, and they'll be more successful in the future as well. So that's what I would say to any marketeer that's out there: get curious. Don't just think it's not happening. It is happening. Understand how you can pivot and work with it. And maybe your job might look a little bit different in a year from now.
Right.
But
Not
we're still
necessarily a bad thing.
exactly. But we're still going to need human beings, and we're still going to need the machines. But we're going to work together. We're going to figure this out together as well.
And that is some sound advice. Thank you so much, Ben, for being here with us today.
Pleasure. It's great to be here, and thank you very much for Logicom for giving me this opportunity.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.